Okay, introduction video for a 5 acre tract at Bobcat Hollow. This happens to be tract 27. Um, Now the unique thing about this property is that over here on the west side where it borders this creek bed, there's actually a little kind of a miniature waterfall, super pretty, pure Ozarks. I mean, we can't really see it in this intro video, but check out the listing. We've got a couple videos that we took of that west side. It's like a flat rock bottom, and then it's got this cool drop. Yeah, I mean it's like a little fairyland. If you look at it on the videos, it's the creek that borders the west side is probably not a year-round creek. It's probably a seasonal creek or a wet weather creek. But the couple times we've been out there, it has been running, and so we were able to get some shots of the little waterfall and whatnot. It's so super cool. Just the kind of place you want to hang out all day and whatnot. Um, but even without that, I mean, this is a pretty solid property. Let's start with this. Over here on the left, we've got County Road 126, and that's a gravel road. So if you're coming from Ava, you go east on Highway 76 for about 10 miles to the Bryant River, cross over that, and go another 2 miles. So you're going a total of about 12 miles on Highway 76, and then go north. So take a left onto County Road 126. Follow that to the north for about 3 miles, and you'll take a right on this easement road. I don't have the exact mileage. It's right at about 3 miles, but here's a handy landmark. If you get to this, it's a pretty little farm right here. If you start seeing the buildings for that farm, you just went a little too far. So literally just back up and then go southerly onto that easement road. Minimum maintenance gravel easement road, so bring your truck, your SUV with four-wheel drive preferably, and follow that down to the south for, well, let's see how far. Just almost exactly a quarter mile on that easement road, and you'll see the land on the west, so it will be on the right side of the road. Let's do a topo map here. There we go. Really lays pretty nicely. On a topo map, the closer the lines are, the steeper it is, and the further they are, the more gradual it is. So this is the highest in the northeast corner, and it slopes down very, very gradually as you head to the west. Looks like actually some flat areas here. The only part that I would call steep at all was on the extreme west, having trouble speaking this afternoon. On the extreme west side by the creek bed, there's some spots here on the southwest where it actually drops about 5 or 10 feet down to the creek bed. So that's the only part I would call steep. Other than that, it's very gradual, lays really nicely, which can be somewhat unusual for the Ozarks. We've got a lot of really steep stuff here. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit. Check out the drone video as well. You'll see that all the tracks at Bobcat Hollow were logged recently. Some were logged pretty heavily, some were not at all. This 5 acre tract is both. It's got this middle area that was logged fairly heavily. It wasn't clear cut, but they took all the large commercial red oak and white oak and left a few big trees, but mostly medium and small trees. But then you'll also notice that there are some sections where it looks like there was basically no logging. This northeast part, this whole southern area right here, and then a lot of the west side by the creek. And you'll see some big pine trees as well. So the drone video is very recent, and it's a wintertime drone video. So I mean, you get to see the land at its worst, the very first winter after it was logged. So it's great to check that out to get an idea how everything is situated. So when you come and check out the property, like I said, you'll bring your four-wheel drive. It's got road frontage all along the east side on the gravel easement road, and then on the south side as well. Now this southern road, I mean, these are all minimum maintenance roads out here, but this southern road has had literally no cleanup whatsoever. So when we did the video here of the creek and whatnot, we just took a four-wheeler. I mean, we parked somewhere over here and we just took a four-wheeler down to the west. Down to the creek bed. So, I mean, keep that in mind when you're visiting the property. But multiple building sites, either up here by the road for convenience. I mean, you have to be 100 feet off the road. So up here near the road for convenience, toward the middle here, if you like that open area where the logging was heavier, potentially that could be a great yard or a pasture area, or toward the west side if you want to be by that little creek bed. So let's back up here, and we'll do a quick overview of how this is situated. Okay, so here's the property here, County Road 126. Here's Highway 76, and then you can actually see Bryant Creek winding its way through here. And I think I'm going to turn, if I can do this, I'm going to turn on the layer for public land, because we're in Douglas County and there's actually quite a bit of national forest and other land you can use. So we've got the property roughly in the center here. If you go to the left, this is Ava, which is about 12 miles west of the property. If you go to the east, you've got some other small towns, and then you start to get into the national forest, which is only about 10 or 15 miles away. So I mean, you're going to have obviously wildlife in and on your property just because of where it is. But if you want to do some hunting in a few different spots, you've got the national forest, you've got some conservation areas, which are generally open for hunting as well, which kind of always confuse me, but I guess that's the case. Okay, and then if we back way out, let's do a road map, street map. There we go. We've got the property in about the center. We've got Mansfield up here to the northwest. To the northeast right here is Mountain Grove, which is a really usable town. And actually, we don't have to go too far to the northwest to get Springfield, Missouri. So if we were headed to the property from Springfield, where our office is, we take Highway 60 to the east, and then you've got two options. You can either cut south in Mansfield right here on Highway 5 down to 76, and then take 76 to the east. Or you can keep going on 60, get to the little town of Norwood and cut south on C. And you can either take C all the way down here to 76, or I believe it's quicker to take this gravel road here off of C, and you can get to the property that way. But I don't know the number on that road. But yeah, super close to the Bryant Creek, which is very, very popular for fishing and canoeing and kayaking and all that good stuff. So pretty cool property. I mean, it's very, very, very rare that we have anything with even a small waterfall. It's just very unusual. So very cool. Check out the property. Check out the listing. If it is available, you'll see it on InstantAcres.com, or you can give us a call or shoot us an email at sales@InstantAcres.com, and we'd be happy to talk to you about this property.